Hi there, Dana here from Mind Body Healthy. I am a certified holistic nutrition consultant who specializes in helping busy, exhausted women overcome chronic fatigue, whether that fatigue stems from a viral infection, a stealth infection like Epstein-Barr, Lyme, maybe it's mold, perhaps it's post-COVID, or burnout, or a combination of these, because that's actually what most of my clients are battling. I am here to guide you down the correct path to understanding what your body needs in order to turn on your natural energy healing mechanisms and boost your energy production. So, today I want to talk about nutrition specifically and why eating healthy sometimes and often isn't fixing your fatigue. So there could be a number of reasons why this is happening if this is happening to you. This is how I started my journey. I tried to fix my nutrition simply by eliminating all the junk food from my diet. I switched from processed to more whole grain. I got rid of the junk food like the chips and stuff. I removed chocolate. I cleaned up anything with sugar in it. Eventually moved on to taking out gluten and eating just whole foods or clean eating principles. And it worked okay. I got a little bump in my energy, but it wasn't where I wanted to be. So I really had to go and figure out what was going on. And that's what I found out in holistic nutrition school. So I found out there was actually a lot of problems or gaps, not so much problems, I guess, but gaps in generic healthy eating, clean eating, fad diet advice out there for women who are battling chronic fatigue. I have chronic fatigue syndrome. I was diagnosed with it when I was 15. It hit me when I was 12. I battled it as best I could, just got by with living with it for about almost 20 years. And then once I found holistic nutrition and some of the nutrition principles and ideas and concepts and facts I'm going to talk about in a bit, that's when I finally started to get the relief. And now I'll be honest, I can barely remember what it felt like to live with chronic fatigue. It's been almost 10 years now, and I'm living the life that I want. I can do anything that I want to do. I feel functional. I feel normal. I feel happy. I just feel like in control and stable and energized, and very little gets in my way. And if it does, it's something I did myself, like ate too much. I ate something I shouldn't have because I am not perfect. But I do follow what I'm going to talk about most of the time because this is what keeps energy high. It means that we don't struggle. It prevents relapses, crashes, flares, all of that. It's helpful for burnout. It's helpful for any type of infection-related exhaustion as well. So if you have all the food information that you need, you can be like, I know what I have all these diet plans. I've bought books. I have lists of food I'm supposed to eat, but you're still not feeling better. Let's talk about why that's happening. And I know if this is you, you're so not alone. It happens to so many women that I talk to. It's frustrating. It's confusing. It's irritating. It's like sometimes it's defeating, right? And nutrition for energy isn't complicated. It just requires a few very specific adjustments. And the biggest thing that I'm not seeing with the people that I talk to and my clients who come work with me is the consistency. They follow nutrition principles for a couple of months and then it's like, oh, it's not working and they quit. That is a big problem because your body, if you are exhausted, it's going to take 4 to 6 months to start to move into that like healing state. And that's when you'll notice the energy. So consistency is really key too. Well, so one of the main reasons, the overarching reason why your healthy diet that you're following right now isn't helping or getting you to the level of energy that you know you deserve and are capable of making, deep down, you know it's there, right? It's because the nutrition principles, the diet you're following, the food you're eating, while healthy in dictionary terms, it isn't right, it isn't correct for what your body actually needs. So underlying all of this fatigue, and you've probably got a bunch of other really frustrating symptoms. Maybe you've got brain fog, um, recurring sinus infections, sore throat, rashes of varying types, aches and pains, PMS, period issues, bloating, gas, all of these things. This underlying all of these symptoms, including the fatigue, is the root cause of your exhaustion. Now, this is very um, this is very specific. All of my clients, all of the women that I work with, there are two main imbalances behind chronic fatigue. One is a dysfunctional stress response, and the other is weak immunity. It's really oxidative stress. So it's a stress issue. Not so much the fact that you've got a stressful life, it's just that your body is unable and incapable of handling and dealing with responding properly and in a healthy manner to the stress. So then when the stress response is dysfunctional, it just fireworks out into all these other imbalances with the gut, mental health, brain function, muscles, mitochondria for energy, immunity. What else is there? Liver and inflammation and everything else. So, if you're battling chronic fatigue, your nutrition right now is not in alignment with reversing and regulating and strengthening that underlying root cause. It's not addressing the dysfunctional stress response and oxidative stress, otherwise known as the fatigue cycle. This nutrition that you're eating, it's replenishing some of the nutrient gaps that are behind that fatigue cycle, but it's not actually refueling the whole body in a way that prevents the fatigue cycle from spinning. So that's what we want to do. We want to break that cycle. That is the goal of energy nutrition for overcoming chronic fatigue, breaking that cycle first. What you're eating right now and you're still struggling with fatigue, it's good, but it's not breaking the cycle. It's not changing your health. It's still allowing the fatigue cycle to spin, and you're staying stuck. Most women, big problem here is that you're probably only eating the same 15 foods every week on average. This is typical. Most people only choose the same 15, maybe 20 different foods each week, and they recycle it over and over and over again. This means you're probably eating the same thing for breakfast every day, day in and day out. You're probably eating the same thing for lunch most days. And you're probably, if you're like most of us, eating, 3 to 5 variations on the same types of food for dinner. I grew up in a meat and potatoes household. So for every dinner, we had chicken, beef, chicken or beef. I don't think we varied outside of that. Fish was never in my household. So chicken or beef, and then potatoes for every meal for supper. And then we had maybe green beans, maybe corn, maybe we had carrots, like anything that grew in our garden. That's what we had. It wasn't much of a variety. Still whole food, but not enough variety. So when we lack that variety in our food, we are obviously not taking in all of the nutrients that wonderful Mother Nature provides for us. Another really important key point is you can eat all the healthy food that you want, even the biggest variety, but if you're not working on improving how your body uses the food, digests it, breaks it down, absorbs it, assimilates it, circulates it, or on how to actually eat throughout the day in a way that improves energy production without creating more stress, you're not going to get anywhere either with your nutrition. So a big misstep for women who are battling chronic fatigue is this. It's an old idea, is to eat every 2 to 3 hours, eat often throughout the day. I still see this when I'm looking for just to see what's out there on the internet. How do I eat for higher energy? Eat every couple of hours. That's not really how food works. Food is energy. It provides energy for your body to use to convert into the actual energy we feel when we're like dancing and running and playing and thinking and all these things. That's the energy we want to feel alive and healthy and vitality. Food does not correlate to that. What food does is provide the nutrients needed for your mitochondria to make that energy for you. However, we can't bombard those mitochondria with food all the time, all day long, because they don't get a chance to clear out the debris and metabolic waste that they create when they are making energy for you. So eventually, feeding the mitochondria every couple of hours overfills its trash compactor and it just shuts down. It's like I can't even deal with that. I've got so much garbage around me that I'm in a toxic state. I can't do anything. So not eating every 2 to 3 hours is a big first step in overcoming chronic fatigue. Most women probably are still letting a wee bit of the energy draining foods in. This is really important because there are 4 main pro-inflammatory foods that promote oxidative stress and affect your stress response. One is gluten. One is cow's milk dairy for sure, possibly goat's and sheep's milk as well, depends on the woman. Vegetable oils, vegetable and seed oils, and of course, sugar, refined sugar, artificial sweeteners, all of that stuff. Now, we can say that I don't eat dairy and I don't eat gluten, except that one time, like only on Saturdays, I eat a little bit of like a pizza or something. It's just once a week. That once a week pro-inflammatory food or a combination of pro-inflammatory foods will increase oxidative stress and inflammation in your body and hit that fatigue cycle and make it spin for up to 7 days. So anytime you're eating an energy draining food, you are kicking yourself right back to stage 1. Fatigue cycle sets in again. So we have to be really cautious that we're not letting any of these energy drainers in. What your energy draining foods are going to probably be more than just those 4. Most women have, at least when they're in a fatigue state, most women have between 8 and 10 that I identify when I work with them. And so we remove those for a consistent period of time, and then certain ones are allowed back in to test. But you have to eliminate them consistently for at least 3 full weeks, but usually it's 6 to 8. There also could be some healthy foods that you're eating that are notorious for sucking your energy out of you. If you have Epstein-Barr virus, eggs might be one of your energy drainers. If you are like digestively imbalanced with gas, bloating, anything like that, kale is really hard on your intestinal tract and should not be eaten at all because it causes more inflammation. Oatmeal is another one. Oatmeal increases inflammation in women who have gut imbalances and who are fatigued, especially when it's eaten before about 2 p.m. So oatmeal for breakfast is an absolute no-no if you are overcoming chronic fatigue. There's a relationship between how grains at breakfast increase your insulin production, which then generates a signal back to your stress response, and this creates overall inflammation in the body. So there's more to that story, but grains at breakfast should be avoided. Now, a lot of women too, if you're chronically fatigued, that tells me that you're missing out on your master antioxidant. Every single woman that I work with is lacking their master antioxidant, glutathione. Now, don't run out and take this as supplement. I know some people talk about this in supplement form. Your body doesn't absorb or use this. It's very inefficient. It's essentially a waste of money. If you take a glutathione supplement, you're lucky if you get about 30% of the active product vitamin that's in it. Don't waste your time with glutathione. Your body actually does better with the precursors to glutathione. So these are cruciferous vegetables, your broccoli, and kale, and garlic, onions, those sulfur infused foods. And a lot of women are not eating these because of digestive issues. So if you're not eating the foods, you're not getting the nutrients needed to improve energy at that like top level glutathione master antioxidant. Antioxidants reduce oxidative stress. So we need glutathione. We need cruciferous vegetables in our lives. Other foods that a lot of women are avoiding are legumes, beans, lentils, chickpeas, because they create digestive issues as well. These foods are hugely important. They contain all of the B vitamins, which feed the mitochondria, which help regulate stress, reduce, and they have a lot of antioxidants and fiber, so they reduce oxidative stress. But we avoid them because we have digestive issues. So this is a really big problem too. So simply eating healthy isn't working if you're missing the key, most important, crucial energy boosting and health regulating foods. There's potentially the fact that your body's just using up all those nutrients that you're taking in by certain body systems so quickly that there's not enough left over to regulate the rest of the body, the other systems, the other organs, the other signaling. A key example is if you're eating enough healthy fat and your stress response is out of whack, a lot of that healthy fat nutrition is going to go to creating your cortisol, dealing with stress, meaning that there's little left over to help regulate your hormones. And your hormones have a massive role in energy production too. Thyroid, estrogen, testosterone, progesterone, and then of course aldosterone, which regulates hydration in the body. So you could be eating really healthy, but everything's just funneling straight to that stress response, and everything else that needs that healthy fat is getting neglected, creating more imbalances. This triggers more stress. The fatigue cycle continues to spin. And finally, not just because of the nutrition, but perhaps because in combination with the nutrition, poor liver detoxification, digestive issues, stress, your hormones are out of whack. If you have PMS, heavy periods, anything like that, that is a really big red flag that the hormones are out of whack, and they really do need to be addressed properly in order to help you overcome your fatigue, regulate those hormones. Estrogen especially is so it's influential when it comes to energy production. High levels of estrogen can and will increase Epstein-Barr virus replication. High levels of estrogen will prevent thyroid hormone from doing its job. High levels of estrogen will create more inflammation in the body. So it's really important that we always address the hormones at the same time that we are breaking the fatigue cycle and improving your energy. And so many protocols out there, nutrition programs, are actually very detrimental to female hormones. They're created for men by men with men's studies, and most women struggle, especially with balancing progesterone and estrogen. So if you're struggling with chronic fatigue and you're eating healthy and it's not giving you that, 8, 9, 10 out of 10 energy you want every single day, then something's missing, and we can work on that and figure that out together. If you are interested in doing a holistic nutrition, full body health assessment and identifying what your body needs, what foods your body's missing, what nutrients your body needs specifically right now, what the underlying root cause is of your chronic fatigue, what we need to focus on to holistically boost up your health and improve the production of energy by your mitochondria, there's a link in the description to book an energy consult with me. And I'm very excited to meet you and get to know you. And let's get this chronic fatigue gone, because there's so much nonsense out there and I don't want to see you struggle anymore. You deserve to feel amazing. You deserve to feel your best, and we can get you there in just a few months, as long as it's nutrition and health principles and protocols that are 100% aligned with what your body needs. So let's do this.